Next, I'd like to welcome to the stage Liz Ntonjira from Kenya, representing Virginia Commonwealth University. And Liz is a policy specialist on food security.
All right. It gives me great honor. I'm humbled to stand here in front of you to talk about something that I'm very passionate about. I know my profile says I'm a policy specialist, but this is something that is very close to my heart. And I'm here to talk about mentored mom, because mom do matter. Now, how many of us in this room have children or aspire to have children in the near future? Great, nearly everyone. Now, when children or when you're bringing new life into this world, it's the most gratifying human experience anyone could ever go through. It's a time when family and friends come together in celebration. When I found out I was pregnant, I cried, but they weren't tears of joy. They were tears of devastation and helplessness. And for a number of rising women, they are bombarded by this question. What I went through is a replicate of what they go through. Current statistics show that 6 out of 10 women in Kenya will be single mothers by the age of 45. Astounding, but that is the reality. And we're bombarded by questions like, how can I be pregnant? It's a silly question, but we ask ourselves that. And how will I raise this child? Am I ready to be a mother? Will I be a good mother? Can my child have a second name? And you might ask why we ask ourselves these questions. Because reputable media outlets and research firms are churning out headlines reading, "Society disapproves single mothers." The Telegraph ran a story saying, children in single-parent families are the worst behaved. Trust me, my 3-year-old is very, very behaved. The Washington Post ran a story that stated most children born out of wedlock aren't okay, so you're actually doomed on your motherhood journey before even you start. In my country, for instance, the reality is there's a lot of discrimination against children born out of wedlock. Section 53 of our Constitution guarantees that every child has a right to a name and a nationality. Section 43 states that every child and every person has a right to the best medical care they can be given. Yet, there's still legislation that exists that states if a child is born out of wedlock, you have to seek the father's consent for the name to be written in the birth certificate. You have still stories reading that. And let's not forget the social injustice that single women have to contend with. You have people branding you that single mothers are women with loose morals. They are irresponsible and bad for the society. And obviously, this leads people to feel disrespected, unworthy, treated unequally, and even in some circumstances, denied opportunities. And maybe, perhaps, that's the reason in my country of late we've been seeing such headlines from single parenthoods. Aborted child rescued alive from a pit latrine. It's a miraculous story. A 7-month-old baby was aborted and found alive in a pit latrine because the mother could not contend with the fact that she will raise this child on her own. We have a woman who stabbed her son to death in a mosque. A woman killed her deaf son to save the marriage so that she could be accepted by the community. It's very sad. And when I turned 27 last year, I said this has to stop. And I founded Mentored Mom. Mentored Mom caters to all scopes of disadvantaged women, regardless of their age, regardless of their religion, class, and culture. It really appeals to single mothers, to widowed women, to women who've been discarded by their families. It is based on 4 key thematic areas: financial sustainability, physical and emotional well-being, equitable rights. When women learn about their rights, it makes them more empowered to talk about issues that are pertinent to them. And also networking and advocacy. When you put together people who share the same experiences, the same hopes, they look forward for the future. We have mentored quite a number of women. We are trying to get them jobs. So far, we are assisting 7 women. Mentored Mom also recognizes the crisis adolescent girls have to combat with in the society. We teach them about self-awareness, self-positive image. One thing that has really been profound in this yearly experience, this Mandela Washington Fellowship, is something that Michael Rao, the president of Virginia Commonwealth University, said. He said, always choose clarity over certainty. It is clear to me what I need to do to take Mentored Mom to the next level. It is a conversation that people need to be having. It's something that they have shied away for years on end. And finally, I speak not on my behalf, but for the voiceless, for those who continue to be sidelined and frowned upon because of their marital status, their right to dignity, their right to equitable recognition, for those who, like me, have to vociferate from the rooftop to be heard. Single mothers are indeed the unsung heroes of our communities. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time.